Hey there, baby girl. Welcome back to another video. Don't mind me, I am completely de-whining and I want to give you the opportunity to do the same. Whatever you're doing, if you're stressed right now, if you're doing something right now, I want you to stop and find peace and to be able to just relax your mind and focus on this video. Sometimes when we are doing things, we want to do a million things at once. Maybe you're cleaning, maybe you're going somewhere. I want to invite you to just clear your mind and completely lock into this video. I'm going to be washing my hair as I talk to you guys about growing up Latina and the struggles that I personally faced, that I'm sure many of you have faced as well. By the way, I'm using the K18 shampoo. This is my first time ever trying the shampoo and conditioner from them, so I guess we are reviewing it together. But to kind of give you guys a reason why I wanted to start this series, this little de-wine situation, first is because it's very hard to relax in the world that we live in. It's so fast-paced that we tend to forget to just sit down and relax our minds. And maybe you're going through something right now, maybe you're like doing a million things, and I'll let it rock for this episode. But for the next episode, I want you to be doing the same exact thing that I'm doing. Whatever brings you peace, whatever brings you clarity, I want you to do it before you even start to watch the video. And now for the main reason why I wanted to start this video. I feel like there's so many things that I have personally experienced that so many of you can listen to and feel seen. And as a Latina creator, I want you to know that everything that I have accomplished, you can as well. Like anyone that is listening to this and has dreams and goals and aspirations, despite the way that you grew up, despite the family that you have around you, despite the childhood and your upbringing, you can do whatever it is. Like, I don't care, whatever it is, you can do it too. And if you are new here, my name is Erika. I am from Long Island, New York, born and raised from a little small town called Freeport. I know a lot of people think Long Island and they think Montauk, they think Hamptons, they think this bougie area, but no, we have our small, yes and no. We have our bougie areas, but we also have very small town areas, which is where I'm from, and I grew up predominantly around Hispanics and Blacks. Now, I am Dominican and Guatemalan. My biological father is Guatemalan, but my stepfather is Dominican as well as my mom. I've been raised by my stepfather since I was 2 years old, so my household and what I grew up in is a Dominican household. I'm the youngest of four. I have an older brother, an older sister, and one sister that is 1 year older than me. And to kind of talk about my parents, they are extremely hard workers. They have both worked 2 jobs their entire life, and through that they were able to fulfill the American dream, which was buying a home for their family. And since my parents worked so much, some of the core memory that I have is just like me and my siblings, all 4 of us, just being at home alone all the time. Like, we basically raised each other, and I'm sure some of you can relate. Like, my siblings are my entire world simply because of that. Like, I remember we would be like, every Saturday we had fights, you guys. Like, we would wrestle each other, and we would have like a whole production, bitch, on who won those fights. My brother also did like the smoothie testing thing. He was gonna like discover a smoothie and become rich from it, which is so funny. But the smoothies would always taste so horrible, you guys. Like, it would literally bring me to the bathroom. But yeah, we would just do a whole bunch of crazy things together. And we kind of had to, and I feel like we definitely grew up pretty quickly, especially my older sister. She always had a job, and then when I turned 15, I ended up getting a job as well, because it was extremely difficult to ask my mom for money. Like, it was just known not to ask our parents for money because they worked so hard to give us the life that they gave us. So money wasn't necessarily that money was tight, but we weren't spoiled in that sense. So like if I wanted to go to a dinner with my friends, I didn't have money for that, and I would be shitting my butt off to even ask my mom. Like I remember practicing and kind of just thinking of like why this is important and why I want to go. So when I was about 13, 14, I was kind of just getting sick of not having my own money. So when I was 15, I was so ready to own that responsibility and get a job. And same for all my other siblings as well. Like we had a beautiful life, but I feel like it's because we all put into that together. Like we were also paying rent at a really young age. Not me though, because I was the youngest, and I guess it nunca me tocó, I don't know, but my older siblings did. And I think, yeah, not to get too into detail, but that's just how it was. That's how it was able to work. And I kind of wanted to start with the part of being Guatemalan because it is very confusing, and I don't want to overshare, but I do want to get to a question that somebody asked me about being Guatemalan, and I'm going to pull it up right now because it was such a good question to kind of just give you guys a bit of a background so you understand and you can put yourself in my shoes a bit. I am the only one that's Guatemalan from the 4 of my siblings. So I have a stepsister, and I have my brother and my sister that have the same dad, and then I have a different dad. So I'm the only one that's Dominican and Guatemalan. So the question that she asked is, I know you said before you weren't raised culturally Guatemalan, but you are half Guatemalan. How do you deal with negative comments about that? I also was not culturally raised Puerto Rican, which often leads me to feel shy about my roots. So 100%, I think my entire childhood and my entire life, I was never able to accept that I was different from everybody else, especially being Guatemalan. And I think that a lot of people made jokes about it, and to them it may have been jokes, but as a little girl I used to take them so serious, and it just used to make me feel like the oddball out. And I think that if I, and I was a young girl, right? But if I can go back and tell that little girl something, I would tell her to accept that she's Guatemalan, own it, and move forward. It is a beautiful thing to be unique and to be different, and it makes you look different too. I am still working on it. I feel like it's so much easier said than done, and I am at a point in my life where I definitely just want to own it and accept it, and maybe visit the country one day so that way I can be closer to my roots. But if there's any advice that I can give out there for anyone that has a very similar story to mine or may not feel like they fit in somewhere because of their race or because of where they're from, I'd say own it and respect it, because if you don't respect it within yourself, other people aren't. They aren't going to respect something that you personally don't respect. If you don't respect it, they will disrespect it. If you respect it, they will respect it. I'm a firm believer in that. So yeah, wherever you're from or who you are, own it, feel it, and be proud. I also got another question, and it was saying how when you aren't born from Dominican Republic, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to say that you're not really Dominican, even though you were born and raised in a Dominican household. And we technically aren't, right? Even though we were born in a Dominican household, we will never understand the struggles of someone who was raised in the Dominican Republic, and then when they were 9, 10 years old, they had to come to the United States, where it was a completely different world. They had to learn a different language, they had to learn a different culture, and we will never understand that. So I can understand their defense by 1,000. I have a lot of friends that were born in Dominican Republic and came here. I have a lot of family members like that as well, and I think that's why I can understand their story a little bit better. But yeah, it's hard to find equilibrium where we fit in. I will say that. Sometimes it makes me feel like I'm not fully Dominican. I'm American, because that's what we are, right? That's what we are. We're Dominicans that were born in America, but you'll find it very difficult to fit in certain places. But I think it's just important to accept that that person just has their own story and their own struggles, and they don't see you as someone that has faced those struggles here in this country. So you know in your heart that you're Dominican, that your parents are Dominican, so don't allow their opinion to make you feel like you don't fit in. As long as you know that in your heart you are Dominican, that's all that matters. But yes, like girl, all of the old things and the generations and what my parents were taught, it was definitely something that was embedded on me. So to get into that, because there's a lot of questions about that too. One of the other questions that I got was, how do I feel being the youngest? And if you are the youngest, we may be more spoiled in the house, but I think there's a lot of struggles that I faced growing up being the youngest. And one of them is respecting your elders. In a Hispanic household, you have to respect your elders, no matter if they're disrespecting you, no matter what they're saying, no matter if you don't agree with what they're saying. You must remain silent because your higher up is talking to you. And for me, I had a lot of higher ups. I had my stepfather, I had my mother, I had my brother, I had my older sister. My sister that is 1 year older than me, we kind of were in the same boat, I would say, in certain areas. But yeah, I feel like I struggle to respect my elders because I'm a very outspoken girl. I always have been. I am someone that is going to say what is on my mind, and I'm very opinionated. And one thing about me, I am not going to let anyone disrespect me. So in my household, I always had beef with somebody. If it wasn't my sister, it was my mom. If it wasn't my mom, it was my stepdad. If it wasn't my stepdad, it was my brother. So if it wasn't my stepbrother, if it wasn't my brother, it was my sister. And it was very difficult, and it was an extremely toxic thing for me until I moved. And I moved when I was 22 years old, and I definitely think that the reason why I moved so early was because of that. I needed to get out of that toxic behavior. But I then understood certain things and the practices that I was taught, and now I have a little bit of a better understanding, but it was extremely hard for me to be the youngest. What I wanted to talk about was the culture of body talk, especially in the Dominican culture. You guys, for some reason, appearance and the way we look at our bodies especially is such a big topic. What you will normally see in a Hispanic household, or just in general, my tias, my aunts, what I've always seen is them chismeando about other women's bodies. Oh, esa mujer tiene la teta feísima. Ay, Dios mío, esa mujer, ella tiene que hacer algo, ella se está poniendo gorda. Or, oh my God, ¿tú viste esa mujer? Qué fea que está. It's just like such a big thing. Or like, oh my God, ¿ustedes vieron que Erika se hizo los labios? Eso se ve feísimo, yo no puedo entender. Ay, Erika se está poniendo muy grande, esos músculos, no sé, eso está feísimo. Yes, it's just like an ongoing thing over and over again. So someone asked, the Dominican urge to always comment on appearances or diet. How do you deal with this? I don't eat around certain people because their comments irk me. How do you deal with your insecurities being highlighted at any instance, not just in your household, but from extended family and friends? It's very common in our culture from the older generation. So I definitely grew up in a household and with family, extended families, making an appearance an extremely big deal. And there's a lot of Dominican women that get their bodies done because of it. There's also Dominican moms that pressure their kids into getting their bodies done because of the sole fact that they don't want other families talking about their daughters, or I don't know, it's just like it's a very weird thing, and I actually really hate it so bad. You guys don't understand how bad I cannot stand it, but at the end of the day, it's the way we were raised, and I feel like the reason why I am who I am today is because of it. Like, I knew that I had to look a certain way, and I found that because I wasn't someone who was going to be bullied for my appearance, or I didn't want to be the topic of the show. I didn't want people to be like, but now that I am where I am, regardless, they're always gonna have something to say. You know, maybe the new topic is, and I'm not saying that this is true or not, but maybe the new topic is, ¿tú viste esos brazos de Erika? ¡Qué grande están! You know, like there's always going to be something. So tune it out. And I know that it's so hard because I used to be someone that could not tune it out. And I don't think I got it as much really, but I was able to witness a lot of my family members get bullied through it. I also was able to hear it all over through like families and stuff. And that was something that they always gossiped about, and that they like, I don't know, like they bonded over it, and it was like funny and it was a joke. And the thing is that another woman's body, especially at such a young age, is so hurtful because we listen to things as little girls and we believe it, right? Like it's not your fault that you look in the mirror and you see this horrible thing. It's because your parents or family or aunt or whatever constantly fed that to you. So it's all you know. As a child, it's all you know, right? Whatever your higher ups tell you is what you will believe. And as much as it hurts, especially because it's people that you care about and that should care about you as well, it's very important to understand that other people's opinions of you is not who you truly are inside. And it doesn't mean that you have to listen to them just because they're your parents or they're your aunt or they're your uncles. They don't know anything about diet, and the reason why most of us are overweight is because of the practices that they taught us. Cooking with a lot of salt, majority of our plate is freaking rice, spaghetti, freaking pork. Like, y'all taught us this food, and now that I'm older, you're bashing me for gaining weight that you caused on me. These are the practices that you taught me. You gave me this food, and now all of a sudden I'm a bit overweight, and the reason why is because you're still cooking. You're like, also like, you don't realize, like, your parents are still cooking like that to this day. Fattening ass food that they're eating, and then they're bashing you because of the way that you look. It just doesn't make any sense. And that's why sometimes you just need to tune out your higher up. Yeah, oh my God, like my mom said I was fat. Like, girl, okay, like that's your mom and everything, but like you don't have to listen to her, sis. Like, your mom doesn't know anything about diet or real like shit. So research and just prove them wrong. That's how I always see it. Like, prove your higher ups wrong. Don't give them the benefit of doubt and learn on your own. There's a lot of higher ups and a lot of parents are gonna say, "Tú no puedes comer tanta arroz." Girl, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Like, did you study this shit for you to be telling me what to be eating and what not to be eating? Clearly not, because you don't even know how to cook healthy. But yeah, it's a really big problem in our culture, and it really sucks that it's like even a thing, you know? So I would say tune it out, learn on your own, and teach them, okay? Like, that's what I did when I got into fitness. I started learning and learning and learning, and then I started teaching my family, because we never used to eat healthy, girl. Like, we used to eat Hot Pockets, Capri Suns, nothing healthy, bitch. Like, nothing healthy. And then when I started to eat healthy and I started going grocery shopping, that's when my family learned so much. You guys, my mom was eating healthier. Everybody was eating healthier because of what I was doing. And to come to a question that somebody had asked me, how did you educate your family into healthier habits and into understanding and respecting your new lifestyle? Did this happen before you started showing results? I'm sure you inspired them into being better. Okay, so my story is a little bit unique because I started learning how to cook healthier through research, and it's a bit different because we were all home. My parents were working from home, and my siblings were working from home, and some of us were unemployed. So during this time, everybody had like their own different habits around the house, and mine was really getting into fitness. And I was able to see results pretty quickly. And I think that gravitated my sisters to learn, my mom to learn, and to also join me within my journey. So when I started meal prepping and stuff, I began to start meal prepping for my sisters as well. And then my mom was watching us and she saw the different habits. She saw the swaps as well. I didn't drink any soda, I didn't drink any juice. I would find like healthier alternatives as well to have in the house. And they definitely saw that and took part in that. So when you go to my household, you'll see all of the different juices in the houses as opposed to soda, or as opposed to I'm trying to think of like a really popular juice that we would drink as little kids, but I can't think of it right now. But before, that's what you would see in the house. Capri Suns, there you go. But yeah, they kind of just saw me doing what I was doing, and they were very heavily inspired by it, and they also wanted to do it as well. So I was very lucky with that, and I do have a pretty supportive family when it comes to that as well. But I think when you start to do things heavily and you're very passionate about it and you're very inspired by it and you're starting to see change, other people want to do it too. And it's your job to educate and to do it the correct way, not to bash, not to talk shit, because it's so easy to be like, oh, pues tú dijiste que eso no trabaja y mira, yo bajé 10 libras. That's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to teach, because the last thing that anyone wants to feel is attacked. It's always good to be the bigger person. Never, ever, ever, ever stoop down to other people's levels. As hard as it is, girl, I've been there so many times. I used to be the type of girl that will always stoop to your level. You want to go low? I can go lower, bitch. Fuck. But no, we're changing. We are leaving those toxic traits behind. And like I said, I think it's just very important to go in and try to teach them slowly. But yeah, it was definitely after they kind of saw that like my body was changing for real. Food guilt. So now to get into food guilt, especially being Hispanic, we have a lot of different type of foods and things that are so freaking good. And to be fairly honest, we were raised eating this stuff, right? And majority of our parents cook probably every single day, so the food is right in front of us, and that is really hard, especially when you are meal prepping and you have this meal in front of your face, and then you have your family home cooked meal on the other side. And what advice I can give you is you have to be disciplined, especially in a Hispanic household. And I know that it is so difficult because there's so many snacks around you and there's so many temptations around you, but that willpower has to be strong, baby girl. And I'm not saying that you can't indulge. I definitely want you to indulge in that food at least twice a week, because if you don't, you will just crave it even more and more, and that's what we don't want. But once you start to eat healthier for longer periods of time, the more you don't crave it. I think that's what happened to me. Like, I started to eat healthy and I was really taking care of my body, that I didn't want to put all of that food in my system. And you can still have the food, you guys, but just in moderation. Like, when you see a Dominican plate, majority of the freaking plate is rice. Change it up. Make majority of the plate protein. And if the protein that they are cooking is not healthy, make your own. Have some of the rice, have whatever carb they're having, just not as much as you normally are used to, and then have your veggies on the side. That's exactly what I would do. And to this day, I still go to my mom's house and I have her food. I take mi plato de arroz with my protein, whatever she cooked, will be the majority on my plate. And then my mom usually always has like a side salad, and and also too, like, encourage your parents to eat healthier and to eat cleaner, your siblings, whatever. Like, you always want to be able to help your household as much as possible, because it's not even about the way that we look, it's more about our health, right? The more we take care of our bodies, the longer we will last in this life, and that's all we want, right? So I definitely recommend just scaring your parents a bit, telling them like all the health hazards and everything in between. And I know some of our parents are stubborn, and sometimes you just have to like accept that too. Like, if they're not listening, you tried everything that you can, move along and move forward. As much as it hurts, you have to move along and you have to move forward. And at the end of the day, some people just have to learn the hard way, right? So yeah, that's how I deal with that. And you know, it's also like a lot of events too, especially like during summertime. I would pick and choose. Like if there's an event Friday, Saturday, Sunday, girl, we're gonna have to go to the event and just have some willpower, okay? Because 3 events in a week is it's a lot. It's a lot. Like you could drink and have fun that Saturday, but Sunday, let's take it easy a bit. And Friday, take it easy a bit, because you know Saturday you're gonna do your big one. So that's how I do it, girl. Like I am someone who still has fun with my family. Yes, I still drink and I have a freaking blast, okay? Because this life is only one, and family time is so important to me that I do get out of my element. I do get out of my fitness journey, and I'm completely present, drinking whatever, eating whatever, and just living my best life. And if there's going to be an event on Saturday and Sunday, and I wad out on Saturday, I'm gonna take it easy on Sunday, because baby girl, we got goals, okay? We have to take care of ourselves. And at the end of the day, it's Monday. After Sunday is Monday, and baby girl has to be locked in where her lifts and her runs and everything in between. So I'm not trying to be hungover or none of that. So just pick and choose the events that you want to go crazy on. So as for lifestyle changes and kind of just breaking the mold, I obviously am an influencer. I'm someone that did not use my degree whatsoever, even though I did graduate. And one of the questions that I got asked is, how do I deal with the opinions of that? First, extended family and all of that, respectfully, does not matter to me at all. It matters to my mom. Yeah, my mom is someone that deeply cares about the opinions of others. Not necessarily though, because I feel like my mom, she cares but she doesn't. She takes it into consideration and she'll bring it up to you, and I'm just like, girl, like, who told you this? Like sometimes my mom will come at me laughing, and I'm like, I know this isn't coming from my mom's mind, because this isn't something that my mom would say. This is definitely coming from my biological father or some extended family that I personally do not care about. I'm sorry, like, this is my life. You know who your daughter is. Why does it matter so much? And I want all of you guys to think like that. Like, if it's extended family that don't know you from a hole in a freaking wall, fuck no. Sorry for my language, but like seriously, like, those people don't know you. They barely even know you. They think because y'all are blood related, they have this whole opinion on you, or maybe you grew up with them, but you know how much you change growing up. Like, don't worry about opinions or any of that if it's not coming from the people at home. And as for my mom, when I wanted to be who I am today, and I told my mom that I wasn't pursuing my career, it wasn't a good topic. I don't think it was something that my mom accepted. My mom didn't believe in the idea at all. My mom didn't want me to do this. She didn't want me to pursue this at all whatsoever. She thought I was wasting my time. My mom was constantly in my ear, you guys, every single day. My mom is someone who pursued the American dream, right? So she wanted the same exact life for her daughter, but more successful. My mom wanted me to graduate, get my master's. Like, she is a firm believer in education. She wanted it for all of her kids, and it wasn't my destiny, and she couldn't understand that. And I tuned her out. Like, I believed in myself so deeply that my mom's opinion didn't matter to me. I didn't need her support, because at the end of the day, I knew that I was going to be who I am today, and I didn't need her validation for it. And that's the problem with a lot of us, is that we need a lot of validation, especially when it comes to our dreams and our goals. We want to feel supported. We want to feel like, I can do this, and you want the people around you to push you. But are you hearing your dreams? Do you realize how crazy it sounds? And unfortunately, there's going to be people around you that are just not going to see the vision. It's nothing against you. It's not the fact that it's not the fact that they belittle you or anything. They just don't see that for themselves, so they don't see it for you until you get there and they're like, Oh my gosh, you know? The other day I was in a car with my mom and she was like, yo de verdad no creía que tú lo ibas a lograr. Y lo hiciste. And I'm honestly so freaking proud of you. Like, my mom is immensely proud of me. And I don't feel any shame. I don't feel any, like, thing towards my mom because I understand her. Now that I'm here in this position, I look back at myself before all of this and I'm like, I can't believe that I thought I was gonna get here. I cannot believe that a baby girl from Freeport, New York, Dominican nobody, I'm sorry to say it, but just believed that she was gonna get here and did. And that's why to all of you, whoever is listening to this, if I can do it, why can't you? If I can do it, why can't you? Please, tell yourself that a million freaking times. I'm just a baby girl who grew up in a Dominican household that pushed through the barriers and lo logró, like my mom said, lo logró. No sé cómo, and bitch, I honestly don't even freaking know how this is my life, but it is, and it all stems down to me just believing that I will be exactly who I am today. And whoever you envision yourself to be, sis, is exactly who you will become. So if you look at the future right now and you don't see this for yourself, this will not be your life. Point and simple. Like, you must believe in yourself so deeply that you are already there. You must view yourself as the highest of the highest of the highest power, baby girl, period. Now, to get into the last question, someone said, was there a moment you knew your story could inspire people? Yes, there was actually a lot of different moments in my journey. I would say the first one ever was sharing my fitness journey on TikTok. It got so much love, you guys. Like, the comments that I read, the shares, just everything in between. I was just like, wow, like this is gonna be big. And I felt it instantly. Like, I remember when I was growing my TikTok, I had about 3K followers and I already knew who I was meant to be. I knew that I was gonna inspire and help others for a living. That's what I wanted to do. Like, it will always be my purpose. It will always be my why. That's what I wanted. I felt so passionate as soon as I read the words, "You inspire me." Those words to me are not something that is taken lightly ever. And I really resonate with those words a lot. And I really feel like I'm connected to those words, and it means there's a lot of deftness in there for me. And I remember when I first shared my story about drinking and then becoming who I am, like getting into the gym and getting into fitness, there was so many people that could relate and telling me like how my story impacted them, and it was just such a beautiful thing. I think that was just like another point in my career where I'm like, I could take this even farther and farther and farther. And now there's just so many other different moments like that for me. And then I remember going to my first Hispanic Heritage event, and that was big for me. Like, that was huge for me to feel my community, to feel the Hispanic like culture, and to listen to your stories, how you resonate with me, even seeing the way that y'all look. Like, all my followers look like me. Y'all have curly hair. The body type is very similar. Where you're from is very similar. And for that, to me, was like, wow. So many of these girls feel so seen by me. You know, just by me simply wearing my curly hair in the gym. Just by me simply showing my curves and owning it and being proud of it. And that was another part of me where it wasn't just about being successful. It was about, I need to show these girls that they can do it too, that they can be somebody, that they can fit in any freaking room that they want to be in. They want to be a freaking Gymshark athlete, you can most certainly be a Gymshark athlete. You can be whoever it is that you want to be. And like that for me is so important. It will be to this day. I will forever preach that you can be anyone that you want to be, as long as you stay true to yourself and you act as yourself and you work on yourself. But yeah, I kind of just want to end the video with giving you guys the chance to share your stories in the comments. Like, I love to be in front of the camera and then look at the video and see your comments and you guys just talking about your own story and how you resonate with the video and how it was you growing up in your household. Like, were you the youngest? Were you the oldest? I feel like being the oldest, you have a lot of different struggles and what it is to be the youngest. Also, are you a middle child? Are you an only child? There's so many different struggles that you can go through, right? Because we all have different stories, and it really is fun to learn about that. So yeah, in the comments, take a moment to share who you are, where you're from, and what it was like growing up for you, whether you're Black, whether you're Hispanic, whether you're white, whoever you are. I just want you to know that this is a safe space, and I would love to kind of know what different ideas or topics that you guys would love to listen to. I have a few ideas on my end, but it's always good to listen to my audience and devote all of this to you, because at the end of the day, you are the one watching and you are the one that's here. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you took the time to just really be focused on what we're talking about and just completely rewind. And if you didn't, I hope that you can do it for the next time you hear it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next video.